Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in part 4 on the series of Hajj, where I'm explaining the basics of Hajj to my dear non-Muslim friends who have asked me to do this program, and it serves as a refresher, a reminder for those who have gone on Hajj. Hajj Mabrur to those who have gone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send you and your family as well. So very briefly, we have God. We as human beings, when God created us, we were in heaven. We did not appreciate heaven. God then sent us to earth, but God forgave us. Heaven is a place of total bliss. God then forgave Adam because of his mistake with the tree. So as far as Muslims are concerned, human beings are totally innocent when they are born. But heaven is a place of bliss. Then we are on earth for a short while. Earth is not our final abode. We are just here for a short while. But this is a place of suffering. Okay? Heaven is a place of bliss. There's no suffering in heaven. There's no death. There's no disease. There's no police. There's no toilets, there's no sewage, there's no blocked drains, there's no load shedding, everything is total bliss. There's no armies, there's no soldiers, there's no guns, there's no killing, there's no illness, there's no doctors, there's no plumbers, there's no electricians, nothing goes wrong in heaven. There's no warfare there, there's no nuclear war, there's no civil war, everything is total and pure bliss in heaven. But because we did not appreciate the life of bliss, we broke the command of God by going near the tree. God is now sending us for a very short time on earth to a place of suffering. So that if we understand what is suffering, if we understand that, okay, now we're not going to get houses for free. Now we need to earn our house. So now we have to earn our money. Where in heaven, you don't have to earn money. God gives you everything. You're going to earn money. You're going to get sick. You're going to get diseases. You're going to have civil war. You're going to have nuclear bombs. You're going to have fear of this, fear of A, B, C, and D, and D. A lot of suffering. So when we understand suffering, then when we return to heaven, we will appreciate it more. Now we will say, oh, you know what? We don't ever want to go back to earth. Now we understand what is suffering. We don't want that abode of suffering. Now we will live in peace. But when you are on earth, we have two options. You will either go back to heaven, to area of bliss, or you'll go to hell. There's no other option. You'll either go to heaven or to hell. And for my atheist friends, and we discuss it a lot, please note, I don't debate with anybody. If you want to debate, go to Dr. Zakir Naik, go to Sheikh Ahmed Didat, go to Mufti Mank. We've got thousands of Muslim scholars, alhamdulillah, throughout the world. Go to Dr. Umar Suleiman, Sheikh Hamza Yusuf. There's so many fabulous people who are people of knowledge. I don't debate. I'm not part of the alim ulama. I just do things in very basic terms. So for my atheist friends, we joke and we laugh. I talk with my Christian friends. We talk about the concept of Trinity, which Islam does not believe in. Islam says God is one. God does not have children. God does not have a family. God does not have brothers and sisters. God does not have shareholders. God is absolutely one. This is known as Tawheed. So at the end of the day, and I tell my atheist friends, even if you don't believe in God, it doesn't mean God doesn't exist. God is still there. And when you die, you're going to meet God there. And I'll be smiling and watching what discussion you're going to have with God. Imagine an atheist tells God, yeah, I don't believe you exist. Okay, so, and my doctor friends and colleagues will laugh and joke about it. Alhamdulillah, you know why? Because most of my doctors are generally very intelligent. My colleagues are super intelligent. And when I discuss with my fellow colleagues, there's no arguments. We don't debate and we fight. We have a cup of coffee or a cappuccino, we discuss a few things, and we say, hey, come on, we've got to deliver that baby, or we're busy with the next operation. So then we pick up and we go, and we laugh and we joke about it. We don't get hot-headed about it. It's to you be your way, to me be my way. There is no compulsion in religion. We are just understanding one another more. That is why I'm happy my non-Muslim doctor friend told me to do the series of Hajj, because he wants to also learn about Islam. So when the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, when he was telling them that there's only one God, God does not have a son, God does not have a wife, God does not have a mother, God does not have children. So they ask, who is God? And in the very famous chapter, which is known as chapter Surah Al-Ikhlas 112, it says very briefly, the word say means God is telling the Prophet Muhammad to answer the people who are asking that question, to say to them, O Muhammad, this is the reply that you must give to those people who are asking who is God. So say to them, O Muhammad, give them this reply. So the question as to who is God, the Prophet Muhammad, this is the words that came from God through the Archangel Gabriel, and he said, say, this is a description of God. Who is God? He is God, the one and only. There's only one God. He is God, the one and only. God, the eternal, absolute. These are attributes of God. He is eternal and absolute. You cannot divide him. He is one. He got no children, no shareholders. There's no board of directors. There's no government. God is absolutely one. He's eternal, absolute. He begets not, nor is he begotten. Begets mean he does not have children. He doesn't have reproduction, right? And nor is he begotten. No one gave birth to God. Okay? God does not have parents. God does not have children. So it's absolutely clear God is one. He is eternal, absolute. He's got no children. He does not beget children. Nor was he begotten. No one gave birth to God. He does not have a mother or a father. And there is none like unto him. This is such a powerful statement, makes me shake. That means there's no likeness of him in the entire universe. You can think about God, you can bring all the architects of the world, you can bring all the graphic designers, you can bring 1 billion of them to bring 1 billion different designs of God. Everyone will be wrong, because God says you will never be able to imagine what God looks like. There's no anthropomorphic features of God. God is not like a human being. You know, people say, oh, maybe he created us in his image. Yes, God created us in his image. What does the word image mean? Image means the attributes of mercy. So when you talk about the attribute, when we are creating the image of God, not the physical image. God does not look like a human being. There's no anthropomorphism in Islam. The attributes, when you say God is merciful, they say human beings are merciful. God is kind, oh, human beings are kind. In that sense, God is just, human beings are just. In that sense, there is the likeness. But there's no physical likeness. You cannot imagine what God looks like. Yes, in some verses say God is light, but what kind of light? Is it sunlight? Is it moonlight? Is it neon light? Is it laser light? Is it fluorescent light? Is it bioluminescent light? We are wrong. We are wrong, wrong, and wrong again. We'll only know God when we see him by his grace and through his mercy, Allah. By his grace, and we all look forward to that. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So, God is one. There's no directors, no shareholders. He got no children, no parents. So, and I'm doing a whole series on for my atheist friends, that is there evolution or is there God? Because I've got a degree in evolution. I've got 4 degrees in maths and science, and I've got a complete degree in evolution. I studied fossils at Stekfontein Caves in Makapansgat under Professor Philip Tobias. I've got a degree in evolution and paleoanthropology at Stekfontein UNESCO site. I studied Australopithecus afarensis, Australopithecus gracilis, Australopithecus robustus, and so many other fossils. And I can tell you absolutely without any doubt, even though I'm a scientist and I studied evolution, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that God exists. God exists, and he is the creator supreme, and he's the most merciful God. So that is, I'm absolutely convinced about it, and I can talk to, and we've talked to, with my medical colleague friends, and we laugh and we smile about it, but we understand one another. We understand one another. We have mutual respect with one another. There is no compulsion religion. I don't force them to follow my way, nor do they force me to follow their way. We have a lovely discussion. We understand. Like as we are talking about an operation, we say, okay, we operate on the chest of this patient. What are we going to do? In the same way, we talk with one another about what is life, what is the meaning of life, what is the concept of God. So there's no arguments, there's no fights, there's no debates. Okay, so in very simple terms, the universe was created. So before God existed for eternity, we don't know for how long. Then 13.8 billion years ago, there was a big bang. And Earth was created about 4.5 billion years ago. Now our life on Earth is only 100 years. So for 13 billion years ago, the universe was created. And before that, there was nothing. There was only God. Nothing else existed. There was no matter. There was only antimatter or dark energy, but you cannot quantify it, you cannot measure it from a scientific point of view. There's no measurement instruments for that. We only live for 100 years on Earth. 100 years divided by 13 billion years or divided by 4 billion years is meaningless. It means zero. Our life on Earth is zero. From a mathematical point of view, we are on Earth for 0,00000000001 years on Earth. It's meaningless. Our life is not meaningless. We need to understand we came from God. We're here for a short while. We're going back to him. If you don't believe in God, then when you die, you can spend the rest of your life in misery, or you can spend your rest of your life in the presence of God. That's what the Hajj tells us. That's what the Hajj reminds us. That there is a day of judgment, and we're all going to go in that direction. This is a bit of a complicated chart, and I'm seeing my time is up now already, so I want to leave this for the next session. So join me in episode number 5, which I'll try and wrap it up in the next episode. But this, I want to go into it in quite some detail, because I want to explain each of these concepts in detail, because if I'm going to try and do it in 1 minute, I won't be fair to you. It won't be justice to you. So let's leave this one here. So I'll start the next session with this picture. If you can understand this, I will explain in detail. Don't worry, I will keep it so simple. So don't worry about the I like to keep things simple. So I will go through each of these. By the time we finish, by that time you'll understand what it looks like. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. If you're already a member, thank you for all the hearts and the likes. Thank you for your subscription. Please remember, I've got spinal disability and I've also got a stroke, a pituitary infarct from a home invasion and 3 bullets. But thank you for all your comments of encouragement and support. Please know that because of the difficulty of my wrists, I cannot always reply to all the comments, but I love reading them, and thank you for inspiring and motivating me to continue. And thank you that you are benefiting. At least even if one person benefits, then I feel at least my job is being done. Okay. Just to remind yourself and to remind me that disability is not an inability. We need to keep using whatever resources we have. It is not the mountains we conquer, it is ourselves. That is by Sir Edmund Hillary when he conquered Everest. And whatever is happening to you in life, don't quit. Don't quit. Keep mentally strong. The fight starts here. You are winning the battle of life in your brain, or you're going to lose it in your brain. And life is difficult. Please be mentally strong. I know sometimes I also go down a lot. I go down many times. We don't know whether we can wake up the next day. I spend 20 hours a day in bed, and it's very, very difficult. But thank you for all your encouragement and your support. And then Alhamdulillah, we always say praise be to God, the Supreme Creator. Hajj reminds us that we are there to face God. We are on earth just for a short time. So we always say praise be to God. We always think about God, which is known as God consciousness. And if you have God consciousness, you can remove crime and corruption in government. You can remove crime. Because people have removed God from the equation, they think they can do what they want to. Because you cannot separate God and state. Government and God are together. How can you remove God from the equation? It doesn't make sense to me. So may your life be filled with barakah and blessings. And I end with my lovely phrase that I like. Bright place, rugby, sunny skies, and BMW. All of those who have gone for Hajj, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the Hajj Mabrur. And for those who haven't got a yearning for it, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you to go. There's no Hajj is only compulsory when you fulfill certain requirements. You must have the money, the health, the ability, and it must be someone looking after your children. Make sure your debts are taken care of. All of those things, all of those stories. But may Allah make it easy for you, make it Hajj Mabrur. And those who are there, we are thinking of them. May Allah accept their duas and grant them even more. And may all that is best for you and your family come to you in abundance. And within a few days will be Eid. So Eid Mubarak to you and your family. May you have a blessed and wonderful Eid. And before that, we're having a Jummah. Very important day. Make a lot of dua from Thursday night. Thursday night, make a lot of dua. Friday, make a lot of dua. Even Saturday, because Arafat is on Sunday. So Thursday night, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, make a lot of dua. For you, your family, whatever difficulties you're going through. May Allah remove the obstacles. Whatever your duas are, may Allah accept it and grant you even more. Even more. That's my dua for you. Stay well. Look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.